അയം നിജപരോ വേത്തി ഗണനാലഘുചേതസാം ഉദാരചരിതാനാം തോ വസുധൈവ കുടുംബകം.
Of late, the words Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam have been appearing a lot on TV and news, and I have heard of these words before. So I want to find out what it means, and I found out that Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is written in the Maha Upanishad. It means that the whole world, the whole cosmos is one family.
In an article written by Devdutt Patnaik, who is a very well-known mythology writer and researcher, he explains Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam through the idea of Brahma,
Through which all living beings came into existence, then that does make us all one family. We've come a long way since this was written in the Maha Upanishad, and we know that humans will go to any extent to read, to learn, to teach about anything that they perceive as important. But I don't remember learning about this in school or at home.
You should know about the capital of countries. China, Beijing, UAE, Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi.
अब बोलो यूएसए का कैपिटल क्या है?
Washington DC. Oh my god, I have to finish currencies. Mom, I have a doubt. I saw on the internet that there was Lord Ganesha photo on the Indonesia currency. So how are they connected to us?
So we grew up not knowing the meaning of this word. But does this mean that this word may or may not have any relevance in today's context? Going back to Devdutt Patnaik's views on Vasudhaiva, he has written that let's not see today's world, let's go back thousands and thousands of years ago. Even the Vasudhaiva at that time was not one big happy family. Devas were fighting the Asuras, the Rakshas were fighting the Yakshas and the Rishis, and then in Ayodhya, Kaikeyi was jealous of Kaushalya's position as the mother of the future king. His article emphasized that our mythology does talk about the victory of good over bad.
but talks a great deal about the destruction due to pride, greed, hatred, jealousy. He said even scholars like Chanakya did not believe in Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, and that he said that the world is based on Matsya Nyaya, which means that the big fish eats the small fish unless the small fish was cunning enough.
അയം നിജഃ അസ്തി വാ പരാ ഇതി ഗണന ലഘുചേതസാം ഭവതി ഉദാരചരിതാനാം കൃതേ തു ഏഷാ വസുധാ ഏവ കുടുംബകം.
Hey, how are you? It's been a while.
All fine here. How are you?
All fine.
So, how is your Korean BTS of yours doing?
All fine. I'm trying to learn as much Hangul as possible during this lockdown.
What is Hangul?
It's not Hangul, it's Hangur. It's basically the language of Korea.
Oh, நீ முதல்ல உன் மதர் டங் தமிழ் தானே கத்துக்கணும்.
I go.
What did you just say?
It's basically just ayo in Korean.
Oh. In Tamil, we say the la as ya. So, how do you do the same thing for Hangul?
Yeah, it's the same in Korean. All the l's are pronounced as r's. You know what? Just because we're talking about this, let's just play a small game. I'll say a few things in Korean and you try to guess what it is. So the first sentence is Omma yogiwa.
Oma sounds like Amma. Va is come. Wait, is it Amma come here?
Yes.
So, how do you say this is dad? In Tamil, it's idu appa.
In Korean, it's ige appa.
What? Okay, this might be just a coincidence. Let's try something more difficult. So, how would you say the grasshopper eats grass? In Tamil, it's vetikili pul sapdum. Now you won't have a similar answer.
In Korean, it'll be Mettuki pur mogninda.
This might be just another coincidence. You know what? Let's stop this. How's your dad doing?
Okay, wait. Let me try to say it in Korean and try to guess, okay? Appa ippal Appun.
Okay. Appa is Appa dad. Ippal pal sounds like pal teeth. Appun pun. Wait, does your dad have teeth pain?
Yes, you know Korean now.
I have found out some 500 words between Tamil and Korean which have the same pronunciation and the same meaning.
I am the direct descendant of King Kim Suro and Queen Ho Hwang-ho. She must be Tamil. My grandmother, the Indian princess named Suriratna from Ayodhya. She came to Korea and married Kim Suro, the first king of Gaya kingdom. The direct descendant of this marriage, King Kim Suro, we can count around 5 million people.
So what are we heading towards? People spend their entire lives trying to keep their kutumbakam of 4-5 happy. Why is this so? It's because everyone is different. People are different in their views and opinions. But at the end of the day, what keeps this family connected are the few similarities. So for a second, if we say there is a paradigm shift in our thinking and that we see only the similarities, will there be any hope?
In 1661, the Portuguese princes gave 7 islands of Bombay as dowry to Prince Charles II and Vada Pav.
My father had started this Vada Pav in 1966. When the word Bombay comes, it is definitely linked to Vada Pav. Mumbai is Vada Pav.
देखिए अगर वड़ा पाव को समझा जाए ना तो सिर्फ हिंदुस्तान का नहीं है वड़ा पाव। पाव जो है वो पोर्चुगीज आए, पोर्चुगीज ने बॉम्बे को दिया। बॉम्बे भले ही ब्रिटिश के पास चला गया लेकिन उसने वो पाव रख लिया। उसके बाद आलू जो हैं वो पोर्चुगीज ने दिए और हमने वो भी रख लिए। तो कुल मिला के अगर आलू पोर्चुगीज लाए और पाव पोर्चुगीज लाए और वड़ा पाव मुंबई का हो गया तो आप ये सोचिए कि वड़ा पाव हमारा है या नहीं।
Indian sweets. My favorites are gulab jamun, jalebi and jangri, the South Indian version. In savory, Punjabi chole.
पंजाबियों की ना जान है चना, right? But like many other things, the sad truth is कि चना भी हिंदुस्तानी नहीं है। Yeah, because originally कहते हैं मेसोपोटामिया में या somewhere in the Arabian desert was where चना originally originated. तो गुलाब जामुन जो है गुलाब जामुन हिंदुस्तानी नहीं है।
I've read this book Olympus by David Patnaik and I was shocked to see that thousands of years ago the ancient Greeks also had multiple gods like the Indian mythologies and that there are many similarities in the two mythologies.
You see, Alexander came to India about 2,300 years ago. After him, a whole bunch of warlords controlled the part of India that we today know as the northern plains. Right up to Mathura, from Gandhara, which is Afghanistan today, they were known as Indo-Greek. The word for them locally was Yavana. So these people, these rulers, considered themselves Indo-Greeks, the Yavana kings. And they ruled for a very long time. So roughly 200 BC to 200 AD, around the time when the Ramayana and Mahabharata are being written in their final form, around this time you find Indo-Greek coins which for the first time show us how Krishna would have appeared. Look at this image. It's 2,200 years old. It's a silver coin, little silver coin over here. This is the first time, the first image of Krishna. Indians know what it means. Were there images before it? Maybe, but we don't have them. This is the first time. It comes to the oldest image of Krishna, that would be the original. Who has done it? Indo-Greek king. And that's the connection between India and Greece. It's a long, long history.
In today's struggle of keeping a small Kutumbakam together, it is the similarities in culture, tradition, food, language that keep us all connected.
So if we extrapolate this concept to the context of the entire world, then maybe these similarities in food, culture, tradition, mythology, language between the various countries could give us some hope that there is a common thread connecting all of us.
Papa.
So the very first humans were from Africa. उसके बाद मनुष्य नए नए जगह पर जाकर माइग्रेट करने लगे. मैंने पढ़ा था कि ये माइग्रेशन अप्रॉक्सीमेटली 2 मिलियन ईयर्स के पहले शुरू हुआ होगा एंड इसी तरह मनुष्य अलग अलग कंट्रीज में जाकर बस गए.
Obviously, but all our ancestors were monkeys now, so that is why we have a tailbone, a small triangular bone that resembles a shortened tail, which is located at the bottom of our spine. Then humans evolved and the tail fell off. But that's the proof that we have evolved from monkeys.
The first human has come from somewhere in East Africa, somewhere in Tanzania. Aldemai Gorge is a site that holds the earliest evidence of the existence of human ancestors.
तो हम सब ईस्ट अफ्रीका से आए हैं और बंदर से आए हैं, मतलब हम सब एक ही फैमिली के हैं.
पूरे संसार के मनुष्य एक ही परिवार के हैं.
If it's about the countries of the world, our education system teaches us about capitals, currencies, GDP, equations and trade relations. So, we grow up knowing that all countries are very different from one another. Is this enough for the future youth? And then we also preach about tolerance. Are we just subtly hammering intolerance from a very young age?
लघु चैतसा उदार चरितानां वसुधैव कुटुम्बकं वसुधैव कुटुम्बकं वसुधैव कुटुम्बकम्